This is really the fighter and the kid.
Come on, baby.
Kelly Ripa's husband.
Mark has always looked good. I met Mark 25 years ago, and he was like, he had played soccer.
I know. I need to get his dentist.
He was such a
Dentist information.
I remember she was the best looking. She was the coolest, funniest, hottest
She's super
gal
talented.
ever.
Yeah.
When 25 years ago, I remember going, well, I want to marry her because I'd move her in my house right now.
And what happened?
I'd talk
It
to her
didn't
for
work
10
out?
minutes.
Because Mark's been.
Because I'm not Mark's Consuelo and I'm a piece of shit. That's why. But otherwise,
I just wanted to hear you say, I knew.
yeah.
Hey,
because I don't.
obviously.
Yeah,
Kelly
obviously.
Ripa? Come on, Bubba.
Come on, dude.
Come on.
I was cute when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly
I just
Ripa,
saw him in the
though?
mirror next to me, and I was like, "You're enormous." And he goes, "Yeah, you're small."
What are you shaking up?
This is Magic Mind. You want to try some? It's a nootropic, but it's like really, really good. It was invented by a guy. This guy invented it. He had heart trouble. He's a huge tech guy.
I feel like you're going to tell me a pseudoscience.
No,
thing
no,
right
no, no.
now.
He said, how do I get like 5 hours of energy without caffeine?
Okay.
Try that. Tell me what you think. It makes your coffee last all day.
Well, why's it got
It'll get
a
you
bunch of
in the
like
flow state.
medical shit on it?
It doesn't. These are adaptogens, mushrooms, matcha, all kinds of things. Trust me, it's great. I love it. I
It
take
is
it every
great,
day.
yeah.
So does he.
Doesn't make it like your pants
No.
or
No,
hallucinator or
no,
anything.
no.
No, dude, it's
Doesn't
all
cause
natural.
jitters, yeah.
It's all natural. And there's about 10 years worth of science in it. Give it a shot. Yeah, you about to
I
hit
feel
the
like that
promised land.
hurts the cause when you
It'd
go
be funny,
10 years
it'd
of
be funny if it was
science.
ayahuasca and you were like, what the hell? Just trust me.
That's where we're at with society.
Yeah.
There's 10 years of science. Even when I heard that, I'm like, ugh, I wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
Keep checking in with you throughout the day. Steve, is your phone on silent?
Yeah.
No, but I want you to take it and tell me what you think. See if you feel different.
So it's not a like
No.
it's not like a hallucinogen.
No.
No, it's literally like
The magic mushroom threw me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a natural 5-hour energy thing.
Steven, do you have a black eye right now, or is my vision bad?
No, your vision. Well,
It must be the
I don't want to say
lighting.
your vision's bad, but no.
You don't have a little bit of a black eye? It might be the shadow.
Let me see.
Does it look on your guys' angle? Is it our lighting?
You guys
It must be the lighting. I don't want
That's
people to
that's
think.
from holding a scope against his eye. That's what it
I
is.
don't want people to think he got.
That's what all the murder.
I don't want people to think he has black eyes because of our lighting.
It's from all the murder he does.
No, I think I'm poorly lit.
You know, my nickname. I've been hunting with Steven 4 times now.
Yeah, the inconsiderate mountain goat hiker.
You are the inconsiderate mountain goat hiker.
Yeah, no, I actually someone made me some merch that said that on it.
Well, because
Or not merch. When it's only one thing, what is it? It's like your T-shirt.
Yeah, well, you take us to like wherever the most uncomfortable place is. If there's a trail, Steve Rinella goes, "No, I'm not going to do the trail. Let's walk through the thorn bushes
Make it a little
and the
tougher."
water." And then he goes, let's sleep in water. It's better to be wet the whole time because you want to be miserable.
I dig it.
And he never gets tired. He's a mountain goat. And Rogan and I are just, it's just unbelievable.
How's Rogan with the hiking? Because he has shorter legs.
Yeah. You can hear him breathing. We don't see any animals.
You know, I haven't done. I can't. I've never done I haven't done a real long hike with Joe.
Define long.
Well, 12 miles.
Well, I don't know. That's his long.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
hike.
Watch this. Ready?
But then it's like to do that. I would think if to hike that far a number of days in a row, I would regard as that's a good hike with elevation change.
Yeah.
Right.
They call me the Cashmere Killer because I wear cashmere. But then they called me Deadeye because I can see everything. I don't need to glass a field.
Did Bryan
I use
kill
my
anything
naked
when he
eye.
went, Steven? Even with your help, did it?
Yeah, I killed a
Yeah.
No, let him answer. Let him answer.
He knows.
No.
I sent you pictures.
No,
He did.
let him
He
answer.
got the first time we went, when we met, you got a deer. You got
Yes.
a mule deer.
You got a baby
spot,
deer?
It was a spot on the horizon. I dropped that bad boy. My finger was steady. I became one with the deer. I could feel its heartbeat.
And that was linked up through MeatEaters? Is that how you with
MeatEater.
Rogan?
So yeah, so that's how we bet. We bet. Well, I went on Joe's podcast. In fact, I always tell people this. The first time I ever heard the word podcast was in context of Joe's show.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was or what it was.
You just got an invite to come on the show.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, Helen Cho, was like, "You really need to go, and I'll go with you." And she took me, so we went and did Joe's show. And then I did Joe's show 1 or 2 times. I can't remember. And
Sorry to interrupt you. How long ago?
Oh, over a decade.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Easily.
right at the start, really.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we hit it off talking about hunting. He was interested in hunting, so I took him.
I think he was so new to it. I think you might have been. The
He
first
hadn't been.
time.
He hadn't been hunting.
He hadn't been.
And so he wanted to bring you because he likes hanging out with you.
Yep. And I remember he sent me a video of you when you were doing a book signing and a vegan, rather militant vegan.
No, he was chill. He was a chill
cool.
vegan.
He was
Yeah.
thoughtful. And
he was a chill vegan.
But
rare.
Joe said, watch this guy, how he responds to this vegan. He's very thoughtful as a person.
And what the vegan do?
Well, he
Came
just
in
kind of
hot?
challenged Steven, but Steven said, "Look, I respect your stance, but I have a feeling that you don't know as much about animals as I do." And I don't, you kind of made this case, which is to be a good hunter, you've got to have tremendous respect for animal behavior and understand animal behavior and its habitat. And you made this great sort of argument for it, which I think convinced him. He kind of like, it was a really awesome exchange.
And then did you
Yeah.
say, and also because you're vegan, you probably don't have the energy if we get in a fight?
He didn't look like a super energetic feller, but
that's my joke about
to this guy's credit, so this dude, he totally played by the rules. This is also a long time ago, but I was promoting a book. I was in New York. It was in a bookstore. He waited till the question part, raised his hand, and asked a question.
Good for him.
It wasn't like,
He didn't storm in.
yeah, or like, disrupting
Yeah.
or throwing shit. He
Do you deal
when
with
you say
that?
like any questions, he had a question. And it was, don't you think this is all a justification, a rationalization? And then had a pamphlet he wanted me to read.
You know you could do.
But we didn't become buddies. I told him I'd read his pamphlet. I read his pamphlet, but no, he didn't do anything like, he did just what he's supposed to do.
Here's what you should do. On your show, you should have a segment dedicated. You invite vegans. You guys go way out, do some alpine hunting.
Mm-hmm.
You're way out in the wilderness. They bring broccoli. You bring meat. And we see how long it takes for them to fucking die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe.
Because you're not going to last that
There's some
long.
badass
Wow.
vegans out there, but
Yeah, I think so.
there's some gnarly vegans.
I do. A buddy of mine.
You have to be specific about how you eat, though.
A buddy of mine was telling me that, I don't think about vegans come up a lot. I don't think about them a bunch.
Me neither.
But
I don't think it's unhealthy. I think you can be really healthy and be a vegan.
a buddy of
if you
mine
do it
who
right.
he had a friend who was a mountaineer and he was vegan. And this friend would, according to my buddy, this friend would drink olive oil. Just as trying to think of a way to,
Gangster.
yeah.
You mean he was a vegan and he did
He was
that?
a vegan.
Yeah.
So he would drink slugs of olive oil.
I
All in.
Have you ever
Try.
met? Have you known
All in.
athletes? Have you known athletes who were vegans? Is that a dumb question?
In what regard?
In football
I know
or
there are
fighting?
athletes who are vegans
Yeah.
in the NFL or
Yeah.
in
No
UFC.
way.
No, because they like to win. It'd be tough, man.
I do think that you can be very healthy and be a vegan, obviously, but it's a lot of work. I would imagine you can get a lot of what you need from.
Yeah, I mean, even if half, I don't know what percent. Like,
Well-
if I was the only person who wasn't a vegan, it wouldn't bother me.
Right.
If it didn't change, if I was still able to just do what I do.
Yeah, if broccoli
what's a
tastes
little-
like steak, I would
Yeah.
eat broccoli.
But I
it doesn't.
like when you said that. Well, ask him what do you eat when you're in the mountains and you need energy at night? What is it that you? Because when it comes to besides meat, you like I asked you.
Oh, like what kind of stuff do we bring?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all kinds of shit.
Because
man.
I remember I said to you, what do you do when you're in the mountains and you're really hungry and you want to recover? I was like, because I was all into nutrition. And you go candy.
Yeah. So
What? He goes,
Hell yeah.
I eat candy.
like so we just got back from moose hunting in Alaska. So that would be, go for 10 days. And there's weight restrictions on how much stuff you could bring on a Super Cub on an airplane. So what normal diet would look like would be instant oatmeal in the morning with little envelopes of instant coffee. Then shit like miso packages, soup packages, summer sausage, cheese, and then bars.
Sounds fantastic so far.
And then at night, would be the problem is, so freeze dry meals at night, but it's hard to do freeze dry 10 days.
Yeah.
But if just for a couple nights out backpacking, that always freeze dry.
Yeah. Why is it hard to do freeze dry at 10 days? Just after a while, it starts to
It's
build
yeah,
up?
I don't really. I'd love
You
to
don't feel
understand better what happens, but I mean, there's nothing more perfect for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. But after a while, it just takes
You
takes a
start-
toll.
I felt starting
Yeah.
to shit.
And did you take down some big moose when you're out there?
Yeah, I got a really big moose, man. I
I
don't mind
love
saying
moose,
it.
man. They're cool.
I don't mind saying.
I'm so they're so big. I get why. I'm not saying let's
I got a
protect the
big
moose.
moose.
I'm just saying they're cool, man. When you up close, they're monsters.
No, I've wanted to get a big one for a long time, and I've carried a lot of people's moose, but and been in on a lot of moose hunts. And I finally got a real big one of my own.
That's a lot of meat.
You like some
Lolita.
Beatty? This guy went to. This guy's like a.
Oh, there's the moose antlers right there.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
stud.
that's a big. How much meat did you harvest out of that?
Oh my
thing?
god.
Oh,
look
it's
at his
hundreds and
freaking-
hundreds of pounds.
Yeah. How'd you hoof that bad boy?
We only had to walk it a half mile.
Oh man. Because that's hellish.
And
Did
what do you take a moose down with?
I shot that with a rifle.
I use throwing stars.
Dude,
Did
hey,
you?
why would someone go back into that moose thing? Look at the comment. First of all, they're following you. The first comment is, "Please tell me that animal died of natural causes and wasn't killed."
fucking shut up? Yeah.
Hey, man.
A knife. Yeah, a bullet to the heart.
Yeah, then it died of natural causes. Then we proceeded to.
But why would they follow you? Being like, I assume this died of.
How about this guy?
natural
How
causes."
about this guy? One
Hey,
more
back-
year,
back
and
that
it would have
deal
been
up.
a real nice one. One more year. Is that right, bro? Are those horns not big enough? You fucking one upper.
Because doesn't it help, Stephen? And correct me if I'm wrong, but if you take out the bull, especially older bulls, because they take out the younger.
Oh no, that's not a thing.
That's not real. I made that up.
No, he's
Someone
at
told me
the
that.
peak of his, like a bull that big is gonna when you get like with cervids or members of the deer family and a bunch of other animals, you get they don't have a retirement phase. So females will, but males generally go like it's an ascendancy to peak, and then it's usually death. Like,
Really?
yeah, they don't have like a period of like senility.
Oh, interesting.
They just
Yeah, they rise. Let's take like a white-tailed deer, which live everywhere. Virtually everywhere. You can hunt white-tailed deer in, I don't know, 47 states or something like that. So, they go, and then they get to their peak period, 6 or 7 years of age, if they're really lucky and they don't make any mistakes, nothing bad happens to them. And they'll be at like dominance and probably do more breeding, dominate other males, and then they're just done.
God, it'd be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
they just die. Females will, females can go on and on and on, but you don't find like with most of these species like that, they wind up investing so much energy. For instance, a moose. So his rut is September, October, late September, early October, and winter begins. Winter is beginning during his rut, his breeding season. They more or less stop eating. They're competing with a bunch of other males. They drive themselves. They like work so hard during that period, and they get hit by winter, and they get toast.
Damn.
They just
Yeah.
die, or they get eaten or something.
Yeah, they just deplete themselves, and they're subject to dying. Meaning, if like point being like let's say you take a sheep, a bighorn sheep, and his prime is gonna be like 8, 9, 10 years old. I'm not saying you. I'm basically saying you don't. Like if a ram is at his prime at 9 or 10, you do not find 13-year-old rams. You just don't find 13-year-old rams.
Wow.
They will not be around.
They just after fighting and
They
rutting.
They burn themselves out
Yeah.
and get killed, and then also predation from hunters. But even in areas that aren't hunted, they don't. They go from peak to dead.
Wow. And mountain lions hunt moose, or are they too big for a mountain lion?
Yeah, where they overlap, they definitely would.
Yeah.
Especially
Bears,
the
definitely.
calves.
Bears, right?
Yeah, they'll hunt 'em.
Grizzlies.
Yep. But look, no, that bull, you're not. If you want to control, if for some reason you want to lower moose numbers, and that's generally not an issue, because there's not a ton of agricultural damage that moose cause. around municipalities, you might sometimes want to lower moose numbers just for the sake of lowering them because of vehicle collisions. But what with deer and elk, when they become agricultural nuisances, and they want to lower their numbers, you kill females. You kill a female, you kill every baby she's ever going to have. You kill a male, you've removed one, and then all the females will get bred anyways.
Oh, interesting.
So you're not like you're mechanically removing one creature.
Yeah.
If you kill a female, that's when you could drop numbers.
Yep.
So if they want to drop numbers, it's getting people to kill does. What's funny is, I grew up in Michigan, and in Michigan they just sent out a letter. The Fish and Game Agency just sent out a letter to hunters basically saying, you people need to kill does. Like we're way over objective on deer numbers, and culturally people don't want to kill does. I was shocked to hear that they're killing fewer does now than they were in the past, begging people to kill females.
Wow.
So they
want to drop numbers.
Yeah, because you want the rack, the horns. It makes you feel like a man. I'll kill the shit out of a doe. It's so delicious, the meat. Let's take a little break.
Can we take a break, dude?
Now, Greensboro, North Carolina. Never been there, but I'll be at the Comedy Zone there. So
that'd be fun.
And then we got some Skankfest.
We're at the Skankfest this coming weekend. Next month, I am in Iowa. That's in October. That's October 13th.
You're in Dubuque, Iowa.
Dubuque. That's October 13th and 14th. That's just Friday, Saturday only.
Yep.
The Niagara Falls almost sold out. Casino up there November 4th and 5th. Chicago in December, and that's it. But I will see you Iowa October 13th and 14th. Then Skankfest, Vegas, baby. We're taking over.
Skankfest. We're doing a podcast, live podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Doing spots. It's a comedy festival. We're going to have some fun.
Comedy festival.
Now, we got the Ultimate Hunter on the show today, but the food I'm here to talk to you about, you don't have to hunt. But it's just as delicious.
Do you like pre-portioned ingredients? Do you like farm fresh? Do you like seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep? Do you like skipping trips to the grocery store? Okay.
Dude, I like options. When it comes to options, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a menu, includes 40 recipes and over 100 add-on items to choose from. Ready? Every single week. They have 15-minute meals. You can get a tasty dinner on the table in less time than it takes to take out or delivery. So
Stop
easy,
it
man.
Right now.
Stop it
You can also
right
stock
now.
your fridge with easy breakfasts, quick lunches, and fresh snacks, just so you know. Just shop HelloFresh Market. Add any of the tasty, time-saving solutions to your weekly box. How about that? Okay.
Dude, I'm on Carnivore.
It travels from the farm to your door in less than 7 days.
Yeah, I'm on Carnivore, dude, and they just send me a lot of meats.
Well,
A lot of meat.
do they?
Yeah, I'm like
delicious,
a T-Rex.
delicious.
I just don't drive one. I am one.
I like that very much. Look, go to HelloFresh.com/50TFATK. HelloFresh.com/50TFATK, or use code 50TFATK for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is HelloFresh.com/50TFATK. And use code 50TFATK for 50% off plus 15% off the next 2 months. Wow. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Stay fresh.
Can you talk to me about Fantasy Guru?
I'll tell you what.
What is Fantasy Guru?
Listen, I'm not an expert like the guys at Fantasy Guru, but I can tell you, don't bet on my freaking Denver Broncos, who lost 70-20 to the Miami Dolphins.
Did they lose 70-20? Did they?
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah, 70-20.
70-20?
And then my CU
I
Buffs.
never heard of anything like that.
Me neither. At the NFL level?
Well, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Was this a high school game?
Yeah.
Against a pro team?
Yeah. 70-20, dude.
What? This is...
We're
What?
We're 0-3. We're so bad. Someone's head needs to roll.
Is John Elway around? Because
I would rather have him than Russell Wilson.
Oh my!
And then also
God.
my CU Buffs got their tails kicked by Oregon. So
that was expected.
Yeah, it was. But don't take my picks. Let the experts do it with Fantasy Guru. I'm talking about legit experts giving you guys their picks, whether it's NFL, UFC. Don't listen to me and Drake or Bryan Callen. Take the experts here at Fantasy Guru, and to get their picks and their advice, go to fantasyguru.com. Use the code SHAB for 20% off. That's fantasyguru.com.
Fantasy
Yep,
Guru.
fantasyguru.com. Use the code SHAB. You get 20% off for the expert picks.
fantasyguru.com. Use code SHAUB, SCHAUB, for 20% off. You know,
They killed, Doug Duran?
Yeah.
You hunted Doug's place.
Oh, yeah. Great. Best meat I've ever had. Besides The best meat I've ever had, to interrupt you really quickly, was the beaver that we ate at Doug's.
Yeah.
He
beaver
trapped,
was nice?
dude. He trapped
Yeah, that's
beaver. I
good.
say this all the time.
Do you eat the tail?
No, he trapped beaver, and he stewed it. He stewed it with potatoes and carrots. That was the best meat I've ever had in my life. Am
good
I
stuff.
wrong about that?
Was it the meat or was it the stew? He might
meat-
just
the
make a
meat.
fire.
No, it's
tender-
good. Like
it's the most tender
like,
meat.
Yeah,
Beaver?
Oh,
but you
dude.
wouldn't know, dude. If you made here's
It
the
wasn't
thing.
wood flavored.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you.
I'm hilarious today.
I want to get into that to the eating beaver. Oh yeah, there's no joke.
Yeah.
There's two things that are tapped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sausage bacon when you're stuffing
Sure.
sausage. There's no joke that hasn't been
Yeah.
made.
Yep, that's right.
When it comes to consumption of Americanus castor, what's the Linnaean name of beaver? Americanus
Americanus castor.
castorius.
Sorry,
when it comes to eating
that's
Americanus castorius or whatever it is,
Yep.
there's no joke that hasn't
Yeah.
been made.
Yep.
Doug on the Duran family farm, so a few hundred acres of ground in Wisconsin. He's real aggressive about killing does.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing 30 does a year off that farm,
Damn.
and you can't get a grip on
The
them.
meat is so good, I can't tell you.
It's nice.
You can't get a grip on. They can't get a grip on deer numbers around there.
Wow.
But that's an anomaly. Most people don't want to. But when I was a little kid, dude, if you drew a doe tag, because deer just have whitetail deer just explode
Yeah.
all over the range. If you drew a doe tag when I was a kid, you were fired up and excited.
Because it was so rare.
They've even now, some states have even now toyed with these things that you can't, that they toy with these programs which are called like earn a buck. They're saying to try to get people to kill does. They've tried this system where you can't kill a buck until you've killed a doe,
Oh, dang.
but you can't get people to do it.
Did you
It's not that you can't. It's just they
Yeah,
can't
there's
get
not-
people to do it to the degree they want them to try to
Yeah.
to lower deer numbers.
Did you see the size of the mountain lion that Derek Wolf took down?
Yeah.
Because I always thought mountain lions were 150 pounds tops.
That was a giant
This thing's
lion.
220 pounds. When he gutted it and skinned it, I think
was
it
in
weighed
it?
170 pounds.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know they were that big.
was that-
Take a look at
No,
the
that
size
was
of
a
Bubba.
huge.
Take
That
look
is
at
a
They-
huge.
Now, Bubba, Derek Wolf is 6'7", 300 pounds.
He's not 6'7". No, he's about 6.
He's about 6'7". I was
look
right
it,
next
look
to
it
him.
up, Chin. He's,
I was-
a
I was
6'7"
with
D
him.
line would be stupid.
Bubba, he's 6'7".
Bring it
I
up,
was right
Jen.
next to him.
That's a big line.
6'5".
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no 6'7" D lineman.
I'm telling you, he's taller than that. But okay.
He's.
Oh, what are you arguing? What are you arguing?
He thinks this guy's 6'7". I've worked out
Maybe
with
he
the
was
guy. I
wearing
know the guy.
boots.
He's
All right.
not 6'7".
All right. But either way, he's huge.
That'd be weird.
He's 6'5", 285. About.
Maybe heavier than that sometimes.
Okay, so, but
but
huge
he was
man.
hunting in Colorado.
But look at that line.
No. So
at the
it's a
size of that
huge
fucking
line.
lion.
It was a lot. Like
He's 7 feet.
they struck that.
Sorry,
He's 7'7".
he's 7
They
foot, he's
struck
7'2".
that track.
Tallest
He
D tackle of
slunches.
all time
He
at
was, he
6'7".
was slouching around you, and when they measured him, keep going.
Now, yeah, when those lions get that, where they get that ripple, they get like that Marlon Brando, like
Yes.
ripple,
Yeah.
fat ripple
Yep.
on their head. That's
Yeah.
big. But they struck that lion track where he had killed, that lion had killed a mule deer
Hell yeah.
and dragged it under some guy's porch.
Jesus.
But I'm like way pro lion. I'm not like an anti mountain lion guy.
In other words, you're not anti-hunting them.
Who's anti-lion though? Are there people who are anti?
There are people who just hate predators.
Oh.
See, I find it more intriguing. Like if
Yeah, I
we're
wouldn't-
going hunt, if you're like, hey man, there's this lion killing people in the village, I'm like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah,
I'm about.
He was
that.
killing deer in the village.
Nah, that doesn't give me.
fine.
But here's the thing. But I'm all for hunting lions.
Look at this
I think that lions should be like. I like lions
Yeah, they're
being
cool.
out there. I like grizzly bears being out there. I like wolves being out there. I like there to be a lot of them. I like you to be able to hunt for them.
Yep.
I'm not like a kill all the lions guy.
I have a thing about I don't want to hunt them. I don't like hunting anything that's that I wouldn't eat.
Well, why don't you eat the lion,
I don't think it doesn't feel like it would be very good meat.
dude? You don't know what you're talking about.
Is that right?
Yeah, you don't know
Yeah.
shit.
Hey,
You don't
man,
know.
Let me help you. You don't know shit.
Hey,
Yep.
be quiet.
All that talk about all that stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
you know,
man.
mountain lion's good.
You can eat mountain lion,
Yeah, very good.
Really?
Very good. Listen, and this isn't just acting like shit's good that's not.
but
They are
I've never
very-
say one thing's bad though. That's what's alarming.
Thank you.
Oh, I'll tell you something.
Thank you.
I'll tell you
Because when
something
you're
that's not
10 days
great.
into a hike, I'm sure that mountain
That's right.
lion tail's pretty
No,
tasty.
I don't mind talking about. I'll tell you
He
some
doesn't eat
things.
tofu.
I'll tell you things that are hard to deal with. Golden-eyed ducks are hard to deal with. Mergansers are hard to deal
What's
with.
a merganser?
It's a migratory bird that is hunted.
You mean just eating them or not?
It's just like, yeah, you got to. What I'm trying to establish right now, if you've lost track of where we're at here, nothing.
No, I'm
I'm
with
not
you.
like challenging you. I know you
just-
drank
know
all
what
that
it is?
mushroom shit.
No, I just get I get lost in your eyes.
So what I'm saying is, you saying like I say everything's good. I think a lot of things are good, but I don't think that everything's good. I think some things are hard to deal with. So if someone says to me like cooking mergansers,
Something we've never heard of, but okay.
right there,
Like,
I
it's the
guarantee
most-
you've seen
You
it.
have the most obscure duck. There's one species of duck
Mergansers?
that you don't find appetizing. That's literally
No,
in the
I
whole
named
animal
two:
kingdom.
golden eyes,
Golden eyes.
which
Golden
are a
eyes.
legit duck.
Of course, they're
So merganser. I'm just pointing out a handful of examples of things
So
that
if
are
you were
hard to
eating,
deal
if you were
with.
eating it with some lingonberry, you'd be like, "Is this a golden eye?"
But
Yeah.
what big animal is the worst to eat?
He'll eat them all.
Javelinas can be challenging.
What's a
What
javelina?
the hell is a
A
javelina?
collared pecker, you've seen them.
Yeah, I'm tough. Yeah.
Pull up a javelina.
Bring up a collared pecker, and don't type
show
that.
you a collared pecker.
and don't type that into YouPorn.
Oh God, that's
Oh, of course he's not tasty.
West Texas,
oh, really?
Arizona.
That's a wild boar, basically.
No, it's not. It's a peccary.
Oh, okay. And is that
Everybody thinks it's a boar. It's
is
not.
that,
It's
is
not
that
a pig.
indigenous to Texas?
No.
Okay.
Well, so what's interesting about these deals? Okay, so you have three peccaries. You have the collared peccary.
Yeah.
The Chicoan peccary.
I know.
And the white-lipped peccary.
Yeah, the white-lipped. Yeah.
So what's interesting about these is it seems that these have been in a northward expansion. Meaning, if you go back and look at cave art and other pictographs and things, you don't see them represented in areas they now live. It's like they've during the historic period,
Yeah.
or since the Europeans arrived in the New World, it seems that javelina have moved north into areas they hadn't,
Oh, interesting.
where there wasn't like an indigenous awareness of them.
But they taste awful.
I don't want to call the brothers awful, but yeah. Oh, here's something that's awful. Coyote meat is awful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't
Scavengers.
like coyote meat. I don't like carp meat.
What's carp?
Carp.
Yeah, carp.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't like carp. Well, that's globally, that's one of the most consumed fish in the world.
Yeah.
The Bible,
poor
the
people.
Old Testament has all these rules about what you can't eat, like osprey. I think like you can't eat lion. There's all kinds
Well,
of
you
stuff.
can only eat stuff that's got a
Cloven
got
hoof?
a split hoof.
Right. And that some of
Which
that
would
might be
rule out
because
the clawed
you can get
animal.
you can get like trichinosis and
And,
stuff.
yeah, is it
Well, no, here's
trichinosis?
what type. Do you ever hear of the Corinne, you know about the Chabad, the Chabad?
Yeah.
For you viewers at home, Corinne's over there.
Yeah. She's the only one that knows what that is.
Yeah.
So I had a long ago, I had a girlfriend who was Jewish, and she was a writer. And I'll spare you all the details. We went to this place where you go to these really like hard hitting, traditional conservative, Jewish like teachers.
Orthodox.
Yeah, but they would. The Chabad were like traditional Orthodox who would have a dialogue with Reformed or non-observant Jews. So rather than being cloistered away, they would
They
be
would
like,
engage in debate.
yeah, they would like engage with, particularly with non-observant Jews or Reformed Jews, whatever. It would give you a way to like for these worlds to mesh. So I went with her one time to this deal, and at the end of it, we were sitting around talking. And I was asking a bunch of questions about hunting. How could hunting ever be reconciled with the Old Testament? Because if you get into kashrut and like kosher slaughter, the animal has to be killed with a blade, like cut to
Not
the
shot.
throat.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, how would you ever hunt? And he said, you would have to, I mean, if you were going to kosher slaughter a deer, you would need to catch it in a net, and capture it alive, and then bring it to a kosher slaughterer.
Too much work.
Who would do the ritual slaughter and then examine the lungs.
They were shepherds.
Yeah, we're trying to make bank, bro.
But when I was asking about this whole deal, and I was saying like, is the prohibition on pork because of trichinosis? And he was careful to point out, he's like, we don't know why God said what God said. It's like not our job to determine what he was getting at. He said, don't eat it, don't eat it.
Right.
We'll never know why he said don't eat it. And so it's not about trichinosis or disease.
It does seem to make sense,
It's like he
though.
said don't do it, don't do it.
But you can eat fowl. You can eat, for example,
Yep.
you can eat duck. You can eat chicken.
But not raptors.
No, they can't. You can't eat raptors. You can't eat osprey. You can't. So in the book of Leviticus, they talk about that. And that would make sense because eagles are scavengers.
Yeah.
And they eat a lot of carrion. And when you eat an animal that eats carrion, which is also what pigs do, bush pigs will eat, for example, anything lying around, right? So things that die. We were in Africa and this zebra kind of broke its leg and it kind of died. And they said the bush pigs will get it way before the lions do.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's part of it.
But you can eat beer though, right? You just have to cook it well
Can't eat
done.
bear.
I don't think
Why
you
not?
can eat
Well, I mean, hold on, but can't meaning no. Okay, are
In
you
the
talking
Bible,
about according
in
to
the
the Old
Bible.
Testament?
No, I'm,
Yeah.
Or
I don't
according
care
to-
about any of that. I'm talking about you and
I
me
got
out
one
there
last
hunting.
theology thing though.
Okay, please.
Okay, right on
Yeah.
on carrion and scavengers. But how about this one?
Yeah.
No smooth skinned fish.
That's it. I know. No shellfish, right?
No shellfish, no smooth skinned fish.
Anything without
So they
scales,
define
nothing
like
without
scales
scales.
and fins, which would be. So here's the trick. Historically, you wouldn't be able to consume shark because it was not a scaled fish. But now the new understanding of a shark's skin is it kind of is a scaled fish. Or, so do you open it up? So anyways,
But again, even that. So
I'm not a
you
theologian.
know a shellfish. The problem is you get a bad clam or a bad oyster. Good luck with that. That's going to be a long day for you.
well, I need you to take all your arguments down to the Chabad house. Bears are very good. No, here, bears
But you
are
have
great.
to cook it well done.
You got to brine it, right?
Yep. So I got that. I got trichinosis years ago from raw bear meat.
Why'd you eat it raw?
Well, just being dumb. We were
Even I know not to do that, man.
Yeah.
I'm a city boy.
so here's a couple. This is
You guys all got it, right?
four of us got it.
know-
It's
you
an
know what it
interesting
is, Bob?
story
You get
because
worms in
worms in your
you get
muscles?
worms in your
yeah, it's a worm
muscles.
deal.
It's a worm deal.
So the state where I live in Montana, back in I don't know when it ended, but back in the late 90s, you could the state would do free trichinosis testing. So when you killed a bear, you could send that bear in and they would just want a little chunk. They wanted a golf ball sized chunk of the muscle tissue. And they wanted it to be from the tongue. I think the tongue was preferable, or the neck or the shoulder. And they would send you a slip in the mail of whether it was positive or negative. But there was a delay. So if you got a bear and you were curious if it was positive or negative, you would submit your sample, but you still just had to butcher the animal and get it frozen because you couldn't,
You don't risk it.
because it could be a month or 2 months or whatever the hell it was. So one time, one time I sent a sample in, and it was a big bear. I remember we took off this bear, we took the loins and the back legs for roast and ground the rest, and I had 87 pounds of just ground meat off this
nice.
black
Want some bear burgers?
That sounds
well,
nice.
hear me out. So there's a lot of wrinkles to this story. It's a good story. My roommate at the time, who became a fishing writer, editor, Jay Nichols. He was at that time working in a grocery store in the meat department at a grocery store. He and I took that bear down and processed the whole thing after hours in the meat shop. This is a horrible story.
Trichinosis.
Well, we cleaned all the shit out good, right? But it was funny because later, we even had it where I did all this bear meat. You know when you go to the grocery store and they got those little styrofoam trays with the saran wrap and shit? So all of our bear meat looked like shit out of a grocery store. We even had we did that foam tray with the wrapper. And you could have a little label and shit, We did the whole bear like that, man. It looked amazing. And then I get the results back and it was positive. So I bought a meat thermometer and just started cooking it. And I realized that it's the temperature at which it dies is pretty low. But this is when you were a kid or whatever, going back, your grandma was really cautious about cooking pork to well done. That was for the same thing, trichinosis. Yeah. And it's only spread from an infected animal eating an infected animal. They've now gotten it out of commercial pork. When they got it out of commercial pork, is when they banned restaurant slop. So when I was
What do you mean they banned it?
Well, so when I was 13, I washed dishes at a summer camp near my house. And when all them kids would come through, we would scrape all their plates into a garbage cans. And then every afternoon, a hog farmer would come by.
Get those slops.
And get that slop to fatten hogs. Well, it's not that the food the kids were getting served had trichinosis, but rats and mice and shit would get into the slop.
Oh, wow.
And so you didn't have a closed loop.
Yeah.
So when they banned restaurant slop from commercially inspected hog, you don't get trichinosis from hog anymore.
Oh, damn.
That's why you can have
when I got trichinosis, 90% of the cases of trichinosis in America all came from bear meat. And I got registered because it's a CDC reportable disease. I got registered in King County, Washington. And the dude that got it before me, I think I got registered. I can't remember what year I was. Whatever year I was, I think there was 7 cases. We were 4 of them. And the dude that had it
7 cases, and
the dude that had it before me had it from Mountain Lion.
What?
Yeah.
And
so
it's super painful.
Oh, here's the deals. We were hunting bears, and we're like sitting around cooking bear meat on a campfire, and it was raining out. We had to get down to our plane to get picked up, and we're joking about that it wasn't cooked that well. And we're joking about getting trichinosis. So I'm with a handful of guys, so Giannis was,
Yep.
Yanni was there, couple other dudes. Nope.
Okay.
But then we're not together. I don't see these guys for a month. Okay. So I haven't been with them for a month, but I remember it was July 4 weekend. I am just hurting, man. Like I can't barely cross a street.
Oh, damn.
From muscle aches. Muscle aches. And
Did you know?
What's that?
Did you know right away?
Man, I knew something was up, and I was taking a lot of ibuprofen, and it felt like the worst weightlifting injury spread across your whole body.
Damn, that's terrible.
And I wind up talking on the phone with Yanni, and he's like, "Oh yeah, me too, man." And he goes, "And Mike." And then all of a sudden, another guy, and we haven't been together for a month, and we all got these same symptoms. And I know, I know I got trichinosis. And my brother Danny, would at the time hang out with the state epidemiologist in Alaska. And I call that guy up, and I'm like, "Here's what we all got going on." He's like, "Yeah, that's definitely what you guys got going on." He goes, "Go to your doctor and have your doctor call me." So I go down to a doctor, just a walk-in doctor, and I got a sticky note, And I'm like, "Hey man, call this guy and he'll tell you I got trichinosis." He didn't know what trichinosis was. He wrote it down on a piece of paper. I said, "It's trichinosis. TR," right? I spell it out for him. He leaves, and a while later comes back, and he's sitting there again, and I could tell he went out like they always do. What doctors always do, they go read shit to find out what you're telling them. Comes back in, and I can't get him to call this guy. He's like, "Well, the difference is he's on the phone far away, and I'm here with you right now."
God.
And I'm like, "Just call the guy." So he leaves again, comes back. He goes, "Sounds like you have trichinosis."
No.
So you just take antibiotics to kill the
I took a
worm?
$1,200 pill. No one else treated it. I was too late. I took a deworming pill, and when I picked that shit up, the pharmacist said, "I'm not telling you what to do, but I sell this. We give this to animals for $7."
Wow. Go get it from a vet.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm not
farmer.
getting into it, but I'm just letting you know that this
God bless.
is used
Shout
to
out to
deworm
that
critters at $7. I don't know why it's $1,200. We all got better the same
Let
day.
me ask you this.
Oh,
you,
damn.
you know a lot about Native Americans, and you've written books and stuff.
yeah.
But didn't the Native Americans, did they have any restrictions on what they ate? Did they eat bear? Did they eat
Well, I mean, when you say Native Americans, I mean, you're talking about.
obviously,
Yeah, what do you mean
obviously.
native, Brian?
Well, I mean, no, you're talking about hundreds
I'm
of
with you.
cultures.
Yes.
Hundreds of cultures that all had sets of
Different
taboos and
rules.
prohibitions. But we were talking before
That's
we
very
started
true.
recording, we were talking about there was some very avid bear eaters. I'm
that's right.
assuming. I don't
right.
know. I've never read in the historic record of people eating raw bear meat.
Right. They cooked it.
But the biggest, most interesting about trichinosis, lions, bears what they're finding out now is it's not to kill it, to disinfect the meat, pork too. If you raise your own pigs, you know, if you're like a hobby farmer and you raise your own hogs and you don't know what the hell they've gotten into.
Yep. Is
when we say that you had to cook pork to 165 or whatever the hell they used to say, it winds up being that it's like you got to imagine it as a graph. It's like temperature and time exposure, meaning 145 will eventually kill it if held for a long time. It's like the instant it hits 165, it's dead. But I don't know what it is exactly, but maybe at 7 minutes, it's dead at 145. Mm-hmm. It's instant at 165. So you could actually, with sous vide cooking and stuff, I haven't done it, but you could theoretically,
is that just
like a water bath?
You put it in a plastic bag and you put it in boiling water. And it actually is a really good way to make meat because it's really tender.
But it's less than boiling.
Yeah, it's less than boiling. Sorry. But it takes a long time,
because
right?
of what water boils at 212?
Yeah.
Like I think the highest you could set a sous vide wand is somewhere around 190 or whatever, but you could, I haven't done it, but you could put bear meat in that water bath
and then get rid of it.
And leave it in there at 145 and eat raw bear meat, or not raw, eat rare bear meat, which I haven't done it yet because it's not appetizing to me because of all this shit we're talking about.
And you'd have to do the same with like lion. Like I'm not talking about the mountain lion, but like African lion, you do the same. Oh
yeah, I know that. They have their own, like there's like Trichinella spiralis and all these different trichinosis strains. They have them there. When the woman that told me they give the same vet or the same pharmacist that told me that they give the same medication to animals for $7, but it's $1,200 for a person. When we were on the phone, she used to be in the Peace Corps. And when they were in the Peace Corps, when she was in the Peace Corps in Africa, they would, as a matter of course, go into villages and deworm everybody.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Just as not even testing. It was just like the assumption was you would just go in and deworm.
Yeah,
everybody.
but I grew up overseas. I had to be dewormed. And I'm not kidding. I had long pink worms. Me and my sister had long pink worms coming out of our ass. So I grew up in the 70s in the developing world. So I get such a kick out of like people like complain about the United States. You couldn't drink the water. If you ate ice, you'd be fucked. But I got hepatitis A, I got fucking giardia. I grew up with all that shit. I had it all. I mean, I'm talking about all. I saw what malaria actually, you ever seen what malaria does to somebody? You ever seen that with your own eyes?
No.
Whoo! This guy had malaria, and malaria kills, I don't know how many people a year, but he was under blankets like this. And I remember watching him as a little kid. He was going, because he was that cold. It'll fuck you up, man.
He's like orgasmically cold.
Yeah, orgasmically cold is right. Shaking? Oh, yeah. And it sits in your liver.
What about the Black Plague? Did you see that?
I did not see the Black Plague. But keep away from rats, if you know what I mean. Cover your wells. Why'd you make that noise because you've taught me a lot about Native Americans. I would always like to listen to you. But it's all over the place, right?
Because I know like about there's areas where I've read a lot about, like on the Great Plains, I've read a lot about.
The Blackfeet were huge, right? Some people like the Cherokee, really big. Kind of like the Maasai or something.
Some like people that white soldiers during the Indian Wars would be very intimidated by the physical stature,
like giant Samoans.
Yeah, but that's all I meant is like there's some areas where I've read quite a lot about the presence, but there's other areas I'm pretty ignorant to it.
Right.
In the southeast, I just haven't read much about that. Northeast, I haven't read much.
But the Comanche, the Apache, the Nez Perce.
Yeah, I like that shit, man.
Yeah. The most warlike were when they had horses. The horses that came from the Spaniards. Mm-hmm. The Comanche, or was it the Apache who spent most of their time on the horse?
We just had a historian on my podcast, a historian named Elliot West, and we talked a lot about the way the Spanish horses. There was this famous occurrence called the Pueblo Revolt, when the Pueblo tribes kicked the Spanish out of New Mexico. They were like in northern Mexico into what's now New Mexico. Yeah. And the Pueblo tribes had a revolt and expelled the Spanish for quite some time. And that's what initiated, I think that was around 1690 or 1690. And that's what initiated that spread of horses to the north. And it caused this really dramatic power completely changed the power dynamic.
Because the people on the horse.
Yeah,
were
like at a
dominant.
time, if you go back before the horse, the real powerhouses were agrarian. You know, people that would live in the West, elsewhere, they would grow squash, beans,
Maize.
corn, and they'd develop pretty like powerful, flourishing cultures. After the horse came into the American West, what emerged out of that was equestrian nomadic bison hunters and
Fierce.
and nomadic warriors.
Did you say Ogarian or Aryan?
Agrarian.
Are you saying Aryan or
No, agrarian.
Agrarian,
meaning
sorry.
they're farmers.
Yeah.
Agrarian
Farmers,
means
yeah, farmers.
of the land. You know?
But once the horse came, all of a sudden you had these, you had the ability to create, like the equivalent of like a mounted cavalry,
Oh, yeah.
And then you had this huge power dynamic. So you had these tribes that, like with the Comanche, the Comanche came from north and west.
And they would follow the bison, right? They would
Yeah,
follow
well,
them.
they
So lived
adapted
just
the
off of
horse.
meat.
They got on the horses quick, gave up farming, gave up on having a stationary village, and just became riders.
And they lived on mare's milk and like.
Crazy shit, yeah. And they were able to travel around. And what's
Did
funny
they
is,
tap their horses' veins the way the Mongols
oh
did?
no, I don't know about that. Yeah,
Come on,
drinking.
that's
No, dude, this is like
That's
a thing.
stupid
man.
shit, though.
No, I've
So
read
stupid.
that to open. In Ian Fraser's book about Siberia, he talks about that thirst crazed Mongol warriors would tap a vein with a straw.
Yep. And drink.
just drink it? That's
so
how
they'd
they
be
got
on
their
their horse
nutrition?
and they would
To get
drink
blood.
their horse's
Yeah, as they're
blood.
going, yeah.
And then they would drink the mare's blood. So the problem was when
Mare's milk,
other
yeah.
when other armies would follow them, they would like lead them into the desert. They'd lead them further up, but they had to bring water and supplies. Then they wait till their waters and their supplies
And
were
they
running
didn't
low.
realize they were drinking the
Yeah,
blood.
and they'd be like,
Just suck on the horse like vampires.
when you have blood running through your body, dude.
Oh, you can
Tell
only
you what
imagine.
happens, bro.
Steven,
Your
how-
chi is very hot.
How did you become like basically the Michael Jordan of hunting? Like when I don't know much about hunting, but I know you.
Can I give you one thing that he would do?
I'd rather him answer.
No, but listen. This is how good he is.
I'd much rather.
But
have him
this is how
answer.
good he is. As far as a master
No, you take
hunter,
it, yeah.
he would go like this. We'd be like at a bank, and he'd do this with his foot, and he'd go, smell that. And I'd smell it and be like, the fuck? And he goes, you know what that is? I go, what? He goes, that's a male beaver marking his territory. I'd be like, how the fuck do you know that? That's how
Yeah,
good
but I
he is.
assume other hunters can do that.
Oh no, man! There's a lot of people way better at hunting than I am.
But how'd you become
Because I just
the guy?
talked. Because I talked about it at a time. I talked about it in a way that people weren't talking about it, and I talked about it at a time that people weren't talking about it in the way that I talked about it.
It's fair. Yeah.
There was a lot of
That
low
makes
hanging
sense.
fruit, at the
Right
time.
timing, you can talk.
Yeah, a lot of the things that
Handsome.
What?
Wait, what?
What did you
Wait,
say?
I want to go camping.
Hey, he's not a piece of meat. He's
Yeah.
just a meat eater.
Ooh, give me
So-
trichinosis.
We grew up doing a lot of hunting and fishing and trapping and ate a lot of stuff. And I just talked. I wrote about that
As
Like,
a kid, you grew up doing this.
Yeah, grew up doing
Your
it.
dad was into it, I assume.
very into it. So we ate a lot of wild game, in a different way than I do now. But
But Steve, your personality, come on. Your personality is also rather alpha. You get in an argument with Steve? And like Rogan
But I don't know.
having a-
But again, all that doesn't accumulate.
No, but
I
what
don't
I'm
know any
saying-
hunters who are beta.
No. What I mean by that is that he's very, very, he knows what he's talking about, but he does his research. And so I think that kind of personality, when, like, if you have an argument with him about certain things, like Joe and you had that argument about how many people the Mongols actually killed. You
Was
know?
that a legit argument?
Oh yeah, dude, and,
Rogan was-
and Steve's not giving an inch because
but if he
Steve,
knows
I'm
his
surprised
shit.
I was
That's what I
arguing
mean.
about that because that's not something I know about well. He must have said something really crazy.
Well, he said that Dan Carlin said something about like
lot of
some
bro science
crazy
we throw
number,
around.
A number of like there was a crazy number of people that died, and you were like it changed the carbon footprint of the earth literally.
oh, I got it.
And you
Yeah.
were like, I just have some.
So, but you grew up. You said in Detroit.
Nope. I grew up in Western Michigan.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Could you tell by his accent?
My dad was big My dad, he was born in Chicago. He was raised by his Italian immigrant grandparents. So he was very drawn to, wanted to be a hunter and fisherman and would try to be growing up, but very poor. Then when he got back from World War II, he was just all in. And so by the time I was born, he was a lifelong hunter. So we hunted a lot, fished a lot. I trapped a lot, fur trapping to sell stuff, and studied writing. And so as I became a professional writer, I was just dealing with this. As I became a professional writer, I was dealing with this world that I knew pretty well, and I didn't pay attention to what outdoor media, hunting media, really looked like that much. So I just when I looked more at writers that I liked and movies I liked.
You did it your way.
Yeah, and so I just took this. I just started writing about and talking about things that a decade ago, maybe a decade ago, more ago, whatever. I mean, I've been in the business for 20 years, right? It just was not shit that was it just wasn't getting discussed the way I discussed it at the time.
Agree.
Yeah.
Look, when I drink
Can we
my
take
coffee,
a break, dude?
Let's take a break.
You know what happened the other day?
What
I had my coffee. I went, I wish I had a gallon of macadamia nut.
Oh, you do? You mean, how about macadamia milk? You want some macadamia milk?
I need
sure.
it, but
all right,
dude,
look,
I use a lot of it, so I need
a lot of people
gallon.
a lot of people use milk. They use cream. They use oat milk. All that stuff.
Coconut, almond
If
milk.
you've ever had a macadamia nut,
It's the best nut.
it's a buttery, beautiful nut with
silky.
some of the most, literally some of the healthiest oils you can have. Omega-7 fatty acids, which I didn't know.
Keto friendly.
Yeah, and very good for satiety. So it satiates you when you're trying to lose weight.
We got them in here.
A lot of famous people who are into longevity eat their macadamia nuts.
Sure, man.
Including my year-and-a-half-old who had an entire bag.
Oh, my kids would go
House
through
of
those.
macadamia
They'll go
nuts.
through those chocolate
It's
covered
unbelievable.
ones. They love them. I love them. I bring them on the plane.
Macadamia milk you can put in your coffee. It's 100% pure macadamias, no added sugars, oil stabilizers, or preservatives like the other nut milks contain.
Yeah, but they're not crazy enough to give away a gallon, are they?
How about this? Yeah, look.
Entire gallon for free of
Yes.
macadamia nut milk. That's insane. All you got to do is go to houseofmacadamias.com/TFAK.
No.
Just add
Yeah.
milk to your cart with any products and use the code TFAK. By products, I mean chocolate covered macadamias, the salted macadamia nuts.
Macadamia nut bars.
Oh my God, 45%.
Yeah.
They give you the variety
It really
pack.
is the best nut. They're delicious.
Oh, they're
I was
good.
looking at how much they were. Macadamia nuts were over at this
$1 million.
supermarket here. They're $1 million a jar. $1 million a
Yeah,
jar.
thank God they're a
So
sponsor.
it doesn't have to cost you a house payment.
Again, houseofmacadamias.com/TFAK, and you get a free gallon of macadamia milk when you visit. And then you were just doing it, and then the MeatEater show came along. That was your idea?
MeatEater.
So
MeatEater's my
MeatEater.
show.
That's your show.
MeatEater's mine.
We're going to have to get the name of the.
No, I'd
I'd like to come on
take
that
you
show.
camping, then we fuck each other. No, sorry.
Yeah, that's not the game. Yeah, that didn't. Netflix hasn't bought that show yet. But
Oh no, I'm trying to sell it. No,
yeah. So we just
You can't get trichinosis.
and then we don't kill animals, but we fuck.
Yeah.
And you see the outline of the tent. So you can see the outline of the tent, and
episode one's called Hunting Cock. I'm
It's
sorry.
got Guy on Guy Love.
Yeah, no, but
it's the first episode and every episode.
MeatEater came about. That was your idea.
yeah, I had done a show, I'd done a show real short a long time ago. I did 8 episodes of a show for Travel Channel. And we hadn't even finished filming those 8 shows. And we knew we weren't going to be making any more of those.
You could tell like halfway
what was it-
through.
Well, no, we did finish. It was literally like we literally wrapped the 8th episode. And we're sitting, I remember we wrapped the
You can
episode.
feel the vibe, yeah.
It was sitting in a van and got a call that it was over because they'd already premiered the first episode.
Like we're all set. We're all
And they
set
knew
on
based
this.
off the first
not a
episode, it was
market for
never
this.
going to happen.
Well, what was unique about your show that I always thought was really interesting, that I don't think had been done before, was that you would shoot an entire episode, and if you didn't shoot an animal, that was the episode.
And you still
Well,
air
that
it?
was
Yeah,
later though. That
like-
wasn't this shit I got
It
involved
was
in.
crazy.
You
Like,
couldn't do that at the beginning though.
No,
They're like, he hasn't killed anything in
because
5
we didn't have,
episodes.
They did,
but we
though.
didn't have the ability to ditch. We couldn't spend time working on something and ditch it. So I did this show that I don't like, and I wish I had never done it. But out of that, some of the guys I worked with on that, bunch of dudes that worked. So the production company I worked with was the same one that did all Bourdain's shows all those years, 0.0. and I was working with guys that work with Bourdain, Nick Brigden, Mo Fallon, Jared Andrukanis. And when we started thinking like, let's do a show that's just really stripped down and clean. Like, let's just do like a straight up hunting show. Maybe, no one's even on the show except you. There's no guests, or we'll go with one guest and it'll be really tight, just go to a spot and film like the A to Z of a hunt. So that's what we started doing. At the time, I had my first boy was a baby, just a little kid. And I would read him books. And I like to read him books about wildlife. So the word MeatEater got stuck in my head because you'd get to the part about like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a polar bear.
That's what the kid wanted.
And it'd be like, this MeatEater, lives off seals or whatever. That's where that word, so when we're trying to come up with a name for the show, what would be my long running hunting show, I was thinking about that like kids' books. It wasn't like a diet. It wasn't initially meant as sort of a statement about human diet. It was just like, I just thought like aggressive predators.
Yeah.
It was like predators, right? So that's why I named the show that. And then we went on to make, I don't know, we made 12 years worth of episodes of that show.
That's insane.
Where's the craziest place after 12 years, or the most exciting place you've hunted? Because you've been, I think, all over the world now.
The most impactful things I've done is a handful of times I've been able to go down and do river trips for 7, 8, 9, 10 days in South America with
The Amazon?
one time in the Amazon basin, one time in a river system that is split by a ridge, so a river system that flows north and not out the Amazon. Another time in the headwaters of the Amazon with like Amerindian
About
groups.
rivers?
Yeah, I know rivers.
And hunt and fish with those guys where you're hunting and fishing with people who they hunt and fish 250 days a year, maybe.
Too much fishing, yeah.
And all within maybe like a 50-mile radius.
Oh, wow.
Of their home. And how you get, and also you're hunting where your dad, your grandfather,
generations,
your great grandfather,
stupid fish keep them in the same spots.
Yeah, like using these same techniques.
Are they strictly fish, or are they hunting monkeys?
Hunt and fish.
What do they hunt? Monkeys?
Man, we hunted a lot of stuff.
Name a fish, Brian.
One of these guys I was with, the Chamane, their favorite thing that red howler monkeys.
Really?
Wow, they're eating monkeys out there.
Yeah, man. And then, but then other, like, earlier when he asked about, when he was asked about like native use practices. So I also got to a couple times hang out for a chunk of time with, hang out for a chunk of time with,
I feel like he's easy to kill.
What's that?
I feel like he's easy to kill, right?
Yeah, they had a shotgun that they killed some monkeys with when I was with them.
Yeah.
Not with bows and arrows or darts or anything.
But other groups would have a taboo against. Other groups I hung out with had a they don't consume monkey.
Yeah.
So
you can get weird diseases from monkey, like AIDS.
I don't think that's why.
monkeys,
Just they had like a very like fish focus, but also paca, an animal called a paca, which they also call a laba. Looks like a cross between a chipmunk and a deer fawn.
There's also a pack of fish.
I don't know shit about
Pacu.
Oh, that. Ooh,
I
that
have
looks
3 of them.
delicious. Is that
Yep.
tasty?
He doesn't look
That is one
delicious.
of that right there, dude. I'm telling you, is one of the best, craziest thing. Like
Cutest.
one of the
Very
best, most unexpected things I've ever eaten.
And how'd you eat it?
They roasted it.
Damn.
And it's white. The meat on it is super white. They're nocturnal, so you go out at night looking for them.
Wow.
The meat on it was super tender and like white.
Interesting.
Dude, it was
When you're out there in the nighttime, you got to worry about snaky snakes, huh?
Yeah, but you're with people that know everything. So it's,
Yeah, they grew up there.
yeah,
so
it winds up being super chill because they see shit you'd never see and they see it way before you'd see it. But I was with this dude and we went up to an anaconda. And he's telling me, I mean, these anacondas, look, 10, 12, 13 feet long, basking there.
Do they eat them?
No, they don't touch them. But he said that the one time, like when they will use them, is old people can kill them to get the fat. So, like you hear like snake oil salesman. Old people, it's okay for an old person with arthritis to kill an anaconda to get the fat to rub into their joints. But otherwise, don't touch them.
How old?
Whatever age you're arthritic.
Knee acting up. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So this dude was telling me, and they're, I don't want to discredit it by calling it mythology, but in their belief system, if you were to touch that anaconda with your bow, it would kill it. It would cause it a slow death. You can touch it with a stick, but if you touch it with a bow, it will suffer a slow death. So
insane.
not to touch it with a bow.
Yeah, that's insane, right?
This same dude. So this is the crazy thing.
Hold
this
on.
is the guy.
You don't know.
This is a dude I've become friends with. This is one of the best things in the world. Is like when he asked about like why that area. I'm talking to a guy. There's a friend of mine. His name's Alvin, and he's got the name Alvin. He has an email address. Okay, you can email him. But he's telling me, and I'm not laughing, man. It's just the different worldview perspective.
Sure.
One time I was down there and they had a lot of white lip peccaries around.
Not good to eat.
They love them.
Oh, they do?
Way better than collared peccary.
Okay.
Everybody will tell you that.
No, I know that.
They love the white. They don't even like the collared peccary that much.
Only
They like the
white.
white lip peccary.
Heavy on the white.
White lip.
And they would have hundreds of
Check
them
its
around.
lips.
And he's telling me how a shaman from a neighboring village had grown jealous of his village and had locked all of their peccaries into a mountain somewhere.
Son of a bitch.
And their own shaman needed to train up to develop the necessary power
Yep.
to unlock
The whites.
the white lip peccaries out
Did
of the
the
mountain.
training take any sex?
I don't know. I didn't get into the detail on it.
We don't get into
Sounds
it.
like
But like that, and we were talking about the Plains tribes.
Sounds insane up there.
Yeah, and the Plains tribes there was a lot of mythology in the Plains tribes, in our own Great Plains, a lot of mythology in the Plains tribes that buffalo would enter the world from certain sacred mountains. And when they couldn't be found, they were
in the mountain.
they would go back into mountains.
They're in psychedelics, yeah?
Yeah, it is
Most
psychedelic.
of this shit, yeah.
It's psychedelic as shit, right?
It's probably tough for you to be like, oh, crazy. Right? But you got to go with it. You're like, oh, well, yeah.
Oh, no, with that, no, I was like, man, tell me more.
Yeah.
Have you done any hunting in Africa?
No, never, man.
No.
Never stepped foot on the whole continent.
Why not?
Just haven't. A couple times I've almost gone. I want to go.
Have you hunted yak or anything like that in the cold countries? Like
No.
But when
I'd like to go to Africa now.
Yeah.
Because I met some dudes. I wanted to go, but I never could find who I'd go with. Like a lot of the stuff I do, like a lot of places I go hunt because I met people or had people I know who know people.
Or know that
How about
area.
New Zealand? Have you been to New Zealand? Because my
Yep.
buddy owns like more land than anybody else in New Zealand, and he's
take it easy.
invited you to
Really?
hunt red stag.
My wife just yesterday brought up going to New Zealand. I thought
I have a
personally,
connection.
I thought it was too far. If I'm going to fly
It's so far, dude.
that long,
You've been there?
I want to get out of the plane and there's people with bones in their hair.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
to get out of the plane
I
is
want
basically
bones
like
through
I
the
landed back
nose.
in Montana,
It's true,
except
yeah.
everybody's wearing Blundstones.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah, it's a little bit.
New
of a-
Zealand's so
it's like,
cool.
oh, you guys sound just like the fucking people I just left.
I
yeah.
agree. I couldn't agree more. It's like, oh,
It's
look,
like I could go down to the south and they
Yeah.
sound more
is this
different.
LA? Oh no, it's Sydney. You know.
That's how I feel about vacation. They're all
It's just
the
too
same.
far to go for like a bunch of dudes that seem like me.
I agree.
Although I was in Jordan recently, and they hunt everything in Jordan in the desert, and they do it year round.
No, that I would do.
That I got a connection.
Really?
Hey, man,
I
if you
feel
offer
real.
him one more connection,
I'm just
you don't
telling
think every
He knows the
person
number one
meets
landowner in
offers
all of
him-
New Zealand.
No, excuse me.
Most of it,
Hold please.
if you don't think if he opens up his DMs
I
right
may-
now, he can get
if I
invited
may-
anywhere in the world
if
to
I
hunt.
may-
He's the number one hunter on the
if I
fucking
may-
planet.
if I may.
He knows the
The-
Ted Turner of New
Yeah.
Zealand. Number
Yes,
one
I do.
landowner.
Yes,
That's like having Kanye West in him. Like, I got a buddy who has some tracks
our
for you.
boy Joe owns five beaches.
I got a friend who wants to feature on your album. Well, I can connect you with the guy.
If I may, sir, the Prince of Jordan and I have been texting, And I was invited there. And because I was talking about hunting on Rogan, and I'm trying to get Rogan to come to Jordan. So the king found
And how'd that go?
it was. Oh yeah, I know. He's
Roman's like, get the fuck out.
no, he's not that. No, that's not true. Because
He's an American hunter.
Yeah.
No, he had other reasons. But
Does he wanna go to Jordan?
He would do it.
Too
He was-
far,
he was,
though,
he was
right?
kind of intrigued
Too
by
far.
it. You know, it's look at how long it took us
2
about
days.
11
2
hours.
days by plane.
11 hours, I think. 11 hours.
I've invited Joe to go just across the border and hunt in Mexico.
Oh, no, he won't
And
do
I haven't. I can't get
It's a tough sell to
No,
get
no, no.
anyone to do it.
he's afraid of that, but he would do Jordan, maybe. But the Prince of Jordan said you got to come out.
It's 20 hours.
Oh, he just pulled up the flights. You can book right now.
20.5 hours.
Didn't took me that long. I'm on.
So you're. Let me get this straight. You're in with the Jordan has. I didn't know Jordan had a prince.
Has a
There's
king?
Prince of Jordan. You guys are
That's
like
the king and
this.
the Prince of Jordan. So the Prince of Jordan heard me talking.
You can't sneeze or fart, otherwise you
And,
won't get back to America.
No, it's a great country, man. It's awesome, and the food is amazing. But they hunt there, and I was there, and this Bedouin
What were
guy
you
was
doing
showing
there?
me. I was in Israel, then we went over to Jordan to see Petra and Wadi Rum and stuff like
Vacation.
that.
He went
It's
there for
amazing.
vacation.
Yeah, vacation.
His
Vacation.
dad took him.
And
What's Petra?
Petra is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's where they shot Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's they didn't even know it existed until like 1840 or something. Wadi Musa is there's
Oh.
Petra, the built-in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's fucking incredible, man. I rode on a horse
been there, Corinne?
all through the things. Yeah, it's incredible.
No.
Yeah, I have.
Hey, so like when you're shooting your shows, I'm sure you have like a staff. Someone goes, "Hey, be careful of this," right?
What do you mean?
Like if you're hunting in the Amazon, Brazil.
Oh yeah, but so just to be clear,
SoCal.
the 90%, perhaps more than 90% of all the shows we made have all been in the U.S. Like we film in Alaska a lot.
So you know what you're
we
doing.
film all like I'm a very
Yeah, plenty to do here.
I'm a very American type person.
Breach.
Yeah, like I like the reason I like it. I mean, there's great stuff all over the place, and I
not
discovered
like here though, right?
Well, we just have a really good system of wildlife management that makes a lot of sense to me. One of the things that you wade into, when you go, I appreciate I like a lot of context. So when you asked about Africa, it was hard for me. They have a completely different wildlife management structure in Africa. So I've always wanted to go, but I wanted to go in a way where I would be able to hang out with people that would be able to speak about it and I would be able to see it in a way that felt very contextualized, meaning that would be educational and not like someone rolling out like a tour for me, but
Yeah.
more like that I would kind of like get a broader
authentic,
understanding
Yeah.
of everything that you hear that goes on,
Yep.
meaning like the poaching,
Yep.
how they wildlife management plans, how people that live there interact with wildlife, how people that live there interact with hunting, all the things you'd get if you went, if I go to South Carolina to hunt
Yep.
turkeys with a buddy of mine, like you kind of
That makes
get,
sense.
yeah, you get like this sort of, there's turkeys and then there's the broader culture and here's how people that live there think about it, approach it and hunt for them and eat them. And this is their families, and you see how they relate to their environment. But I finally now have found, I've met some guys who, from Tanzania that guide in Tanzania and live in Tanzania. At least part of the time they live in Tanzania and have been grown up in Africa. And I really want to go hunt with them because now I feel like by spending time with them, it'll help me paint a better picture of
That makes sense.
what goes on there. So I'm excited to do it.
That's pretty cool.
When I talked about going, the first time I went to South America, I had a friend of mine who's a fisheries biologist. She was doing work in Guyana trying to catalog catfish species.
Watch out for
And
crocodiles.
so she
I have a catfish.
she introduced me to people there. She's like, if you're going to go hang out with these guys are amazing.
They know their stuff.
And so then I went and hung out with those guys. So I like that sort of.
Yeah.
You ever come across any arowanas down there in
Yep.
South America?
Yeah, man. We bow fish for arowanas.
Oh, you kill them.
Yep, they like them a lot.
He owns.
I have
some.
2 arowanas.
My kid's trying to
They're
buy one
this
right
big.
now. Do you really?
I bought it for my son. It was like this, and I didn't do my research on it. And the guy was like, hey, they get pretty big, man, so you might have to upgrade your tank. I'm like, all right, whatever. A month goes by, it grew 2 inches. Another month, 2 inches. Now this thing, I have a 500-gallon tank. I have two of them in there. They're like this.
shit.
See, he's
And you don't wanna
eyeballing
put
one.
other-
He's eyeballing one right now for $75.
Yeah, I bought mine for 75. They eat some.
And they'll eat all the
It's a
fish in your
blessing and a
tank.
curse.
Do they-
No, they're cool.
Oh,
they're
they
cool.
are?
But you have to have a top on because they jump
Oh,
out.
yeah, they
In
don't give a
they'll
shit, man.
They'll eat They'll eat monkeys.
What?
They'll jump out and grab
No,
monkeys.
that's not
yeah.
true.
Bring it up.
Well,
Jim.
there's so there's arapaima,
Educate.
which is the biggest scaled fish in the world.
I know this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
God, you're so good at. You know a lot about
the biggest.
You know a lot about
the
Amazonian
biggest scaled
fish.
freshwater fish in the world is the arapaima. But there's the arowana.
Not
The
to be confused
arowana is
with
a
arowana.
bad.
Their
mofo.
tongues are covered in teeth. They can live up to 20 years. Eat anything, even monkeys.
And they're lucky in
Turtles.
in
Turtles.
China. They're like super
rodents.
lucky. They're called dragonfish, and they come in red. And they're about $5,000 to get one here in America. They're illegal. They're illegal in California. What? Did you know that?
No.
Yes.
Do you know what you guys aren't allowed to do that really surprised
Hey,
me?
man. Okay, all right, man. Take it easy, dude.
You know what you guys?
you.
You know
No,
what
I
you
didn't even
guys-
say anything. Fuck. I didn't even say anything, dude.
Steven didn't know about arowanas
No,
like that.
all
Asian
right.
arowanas, dude.
Okay, you're getting-
They come in gold.
You're getting worked up, bro.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm sorry. We're just talking arowanas.
All right.
Yeah, the Bakushi people
The Bakushis. You don't
put a
know-
lot of
you
energy
ever heard of
into
them?
hunting
Check,
arowanas. I didn't know that. I'm glad to hear it. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like you to text me a photo of your arowana setup because my boy is real hot on arowanas.
And you know what's cool about them is you don't need a real deep tank because they just stay at the surface and go back. They swim laps back and forth. So I had the juvenile in like a 100-gallon tank, and then I expanded to a 500-gallon tank, and they just swim laps back.
You just throw monkeys and shit in there, and
Yep.
It's really expensive.
He throws red howlers in there.
Hey,
red
it was a
howlers.
mistake, Steve. I'm not gonna lie to you. My son doesn't even care about him now. I take care of him full time.
That's right.
I posted a video this morning, and I have a catfish in there. Again, bought him as a juvenile in a month. He's already like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just get big, man. But the arowana, they're lucky too. Since I bought them, it's been pretty lucky. It's been a rough year, Steve. It's been a rough year.
He uses them to keep his blood pressure and cortisol level
Very
down.
rough year. Someone stole money from us.
That's right. But you know what? The arowana.
oh, you got money stolen from you?
Oh,
Lot of
but you
money.
know what? I come from the
sorry to hear
Jocko School of Learning. I went, good.
Yeah, that's what we say.
A lot of money. The arowanas were bad luck.
They're supposed to bring good luck too.
It's been tough this year, though.
Yeah, a little tough.
Maybe if they get bigger, they'll be better.
Yeah, but you know, the dawn always comes before the darkest hour of night.
Yeah. I'm just glad you didn't know that. That's cool.
No, that's not
You
true.
didn't- Oh fuck!
That's not true.
The dawn is when the night wraps it up.
Ah, fuck! There it goes again. Steve Rinella fucking clipped my wings. Every time I think I can soar, I get my wings clipped. Now I'm back to waddling around the old farm.
I'm still
Eating
thinking how
grubs.
I made the royal mistake calling your show MeatEater.
Yeah, well, wait a
Oh no, you're not the first, dude.
I messed up, dude.
Yeah, that's all right.
No,
Yeah, it's all right.
no.
It's all right.
I
It's all
sometimes
right.
wish I would have just done it just to have it be over with.
Man-eater, yeah.
Best meat in the world is elk still.
If I was gonna eat one thing, we play this game all the time at our dinner table. If I was gonna eat one thing, it would be I would just eat mule deer.
Mule deer.
I've never had
Mule
it.
deer. Oh, it's so delicious.
And what, before you go, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Monkeys,
Like
dogs, domestic dogs, and monkeys.
You ate dogs?
What kind of dog? Talking about like a lab or what?
No, the dogs I ate, the
Oh no.
the dogs I ate would look like a lot like, you know, if you go to a place where you have street dogs, and there's no kind of controlled. There's no controlled breeding. You know, like people. It's not that people are like having labs and like breeding labs.
You don't need purebred dogs, of course.
It'd be that if you took a bunch of dogs and let them run for
Nuts.
generations and
Yeah.
generations unchecked by contemporary dog breeding, you'd wind up with this like semi pit bullish looking.
Oh,
Yeah, like and, you know, it's different parts of the world. It's always different.
What part of the world
But,
do you eat dog?
Well,
I'll take
I
Asia
ate
for
dog.
5,000, Alex.
No, I ate dog in Vietnam, and I did it very deliberately. And I was writing a story for I was a correspondent for Outside Magazine, and I was writing a story about. It kind of came out of. Do you remember like years ago? I can't remember what country hosted the Olympics, and there was
What
a big
year?
stir because they
Seoul?
made all
Seoul,
the
Korea?
Yeah, they made all the dog meat vendors shut down.
Yeah.
During the Olympics, and it was a big stir, and that got me interested. And so I went to
Yeah.
Hanoi, what I was raised to call Saigon, now known as Ho Chi Minh City. I went there. I went to Nha Trang in Vietnam, all these places. And I went right at the Lunar New Year. And in the lead up to the Lunar New Year, it's customary, especially in the North, it's customary to like, it's a very auspicious time to eat dog meat because it is regarded as a hot food, meaning like it can generate a lot of activity. Like I had a guy explain to me,
Sexual, like
a guy explained to me that he explained to me I was never able to have children, and he like rolled the dice and ate dog, and then he and his wife had a child. And now he can't eat dog again because he ate it and it like shifted his luck.
His luck.
And it would be like playing with fire to do it again because you could shift it back.
Interesting.
And so in the lead up to the Lunar New Year, you know what's funny? You know that lake they fished John McCain out of when he was shot down over Hanoi?
Yeah.
That lake, part of that lake is just ringed with seasonal, what they call Thicccboy meat dog. Is a part of that lake is just ringed with seasonal dog restaurants.
Damn.
Ooh. Yeah, and you'd go in and it'd be common to go in and have dog 7 ways. And some of the dishes would be these paws, like a puppy paw soup. And you'd have all these different preparations.
Dog ribs, everything.
Yep. Yeah, all these preparations. I had my wife with me. We weren't married at the time, man, and she toughed it out. And I ate it every night for a week.
Interesting.
No. You know what? I still couldn't tell you what it tastes like because it was like, they call it a hot food. And I would get hot from guilt.
That makes sense.
Like sweating. And they'd be like, see? It's hot. It's like it stirs you up. I'm like, dude, my stir up is not your stir.
I'm in America. We look at dogs different.
You kill a dog in America and you're done.
I know, dude. I'm sweating for like way different reasons.
Yeah, it's really
This is not sexual for me.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't get used to it, and it was like, it's funny because I had this friend that she had this dog that had been shot in the hip. She had a dog that she found. It was a running wild dog. And at some point in time, it got shot in the hip and had a paralyzed back leg. And I used to take that dog and I'd put that dog in my lap and you could like tickle its ribs and that paralyzed leg would stick out. And we used to act like it was like the whammy bar on a guitar. So anyways, you'd like work the dog's teeth as the frets and the whammy bar would be his paralyzed leg. And every time I ate that puppy paw soup, I'd think about that poor paralyzed. I couldn't get out of my head that poor dog paralyzed little foot.
Yeah, as American, it's tough, man.
That's like
as American, it's freaking tough.
Oh yeah.
But you know what, dude? Like that's the thing is you get in other places and there's just like there's just and that's kind of a thing I explored was in a thing I explored with this is just we all have these expectations and taboos. But when I'm telling a story, I always like to get to this part because I think it's the punchline of the story. I hired a translator when I was in Vietnam. And one of the things that delighted me is he would refer to the American War, which I always thought was interesting. He was injured during the American War. We're at his house in Hanoi, and they don't have sidewalks, man. Like this guy lives in downtown Hanoi. When you step out of his door, you got to be careful opening the door and stepping out of the door because you're going to get run over.
Oh yeah.
The way it's constructed against this street. And we go into his house and he's got a dog about like, it's in a cage. I'm not kidding you, man. It's about the size of that table you got next to you.
Damn.
With a bowl of rice and a screen underneath it.
Covered in sweet and sour
and like
sauce.
an excrement trap. No, did not look like it was a breed dog. Not like a Thicccboy dog.
Oh, wow.
It was just like a regular dog. I can't remember what the hell. It was like a white dog, whatever. But it did not look like the meat market dogs. And you'd go to these meat markets, and they'd have dog heads that they'd burn the hair off, stacked in pyramids. I have pictures of it. This is shit that you would not put on social media.
I would love to see it.
I'll show you.
But a lot of it's this
stacked in pyramids.
Damn.
But anyways,
It's just different way of living.
different way. And I'll tell you a little bit more. No, I don't. It's not wrong.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
let me tell you about this guy's pet dog.
We have the luxury of not eating dog, right? That's a luxury.
He tells
Until you
me
try
no.
it.
It's
In other words, we don't. I think if you
this is not a necessity thing.
For the Vietnamese, it never was.
That was
Okay,
not. No,
sorry.
it's like it's
Wrong again.
It's a cultural.
Wrong.
It's not a necessity thing. It's like. See, I don't want to tell all these stories acting like I'm talking about someone being backward. It's just like different shit. You can go to countries where it's really bad to eat cows. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
whatever.
That's true.
Different people have different attitudes. This guy's telling me I don't eat dog because I have a pet dog. And I'm in his home and he's got the dog and a thing that big. And I said to him, so you'll just take it out for a walk? Because I was kind of marveling at how hard it is to get in his home because of traffic. And he's like, well, he didn't know what I meant. He'd never had that dog out of that box.
Oh no.
It was kept like a bird.
Oh wow.
No.
It's kept like it's kept
That's
as a,
so
it's
depressing.
kept how you'd keep
So
a
he's
bird.
torturing this dog. This dog would rather be eaten.
But he's like, I don't eat it. I have a pet dog.
Oh wow.
And that was
It's like, it makes me so sad.
that was like so
Well,
this
depends on the
relationship.
dog, but-
Then later, went outside in the Trang and went up into the mountains, and I met it just like totally fortuitous. Like it's craziest circumstances where I met this dude, and this guy was actually a hunter that I met, and he had a small farm in the mountains outside in the Trang, and they had dogs, and he was and I was able to communicate with him. And the way it works, he has a farm. They had some cattle, they had some pigs, they had chickens. They would hunt for these like arboreal marsupials. He raised sugarcane. If I remember right, he raised corn. He raised a handful of other crops. They raised peppers. Okay, all this stuff. And they had dogs. And periodically, they don't spay and neuter. So periodically, the dogs you keep on your property will just get too numerous. When they get too numerous, there's a guy that will come around and just like he would sell chicken to market, he would sell pork to market, he would sell cattle to market, he would sell excess dogs to market. And those dogs would enter the same way his chickens, cattle, pork would enter the broader distribution meat market.
It's just a different.
His excess crop of dogs would enter the
meat market.
meat market. And it was just like
Normal.
just as simple as that.
But you are right. So if you were to go to India, certain parts of India, you wouldn't eat a cow. It'd be sacrilegious, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of examples of that, where just some animals are just taboo and others are not.
Or you go to certain countries and they don't want to eat shrimp
Yep.
because God said.
Because shrimp have feelings too.
So it's I very much hesitate to lay this out as I love talking about it. It was a really interesting experience,
yeah.
but it's not, and I would never present it as a backward opinion. It's just
No,
like it's
that's their
like
culture,
our
man.
shit
Yeah.
looks as crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we let our they might look and be like, these people when their parents get old, they lock their parents up
That's right.
Yeah.
and don't go visit them.
100%.
You want to talk about
And
some
we do.
fucking barbarians?
Agree.
Or the fact that we are a nation of alcoholics and drug addicts. I mean, comparatively.
Yeah. So
Or
they're
the
like,
breakdown
yeah,
of the family.
we'll eat a
We got
little
our
fit
own
Joe.
group.
At least we don't fucking lock our
We
grandparents
got a lot of
up.
problems. We got a lot of problems. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's pretty wild. Do you do a lot of bow hunting? Mm-hmm. More so, or
No, I mostly no. Well, I'll bow hunt a couple times this year, but I bow hunt. Generally, I bow hunt when it's bow season.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I got friends that are very diehard archers, and they'll bow hunt. They'll hunt with their bow when you could hunt with a gun,
right? Yeah, exactly.
which is great.
Yeah.
But I hunt with a bow. I like to use the archery seasons. Like pretty soon I'll go hunt. I'll go hunt whitetails in Oklahoma, and it'll be like I'll bow hunt, and it'll be bow season.
Right.
I was bow hunting deer with my boy the other day, and we were bow hunting because it was bow season. If it was gun season, we would have been gun hunting. So that's my attitude. I use it to like expand my opportunities.
What about wolves? Do you have a lot of wolves in Montana? Are they making
Yeah,
like,
a lot?
huge
Yeah,
comeback?
I mean we have relative to other states in the lower 48. We have
how
a
many
lot.
states have wolves?
So you have wolves in Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Timber wolves, huh?
Well, yeah, gray wolves.
Just wolves, man. Let them get through it.
Different wolves.
You have wolves, and then you have wolves all the north, like those northern tier. So you have the northern Great Lakes, and then you have wolves all through the Rockies. And then you have wolves down into the Mexican gray wolf in Arizona and New Mexico. You have a new population of wolves that just showed up in Colorado.
Oh boy.
Everything from Colorado north through the spine of the Rockies, but you have wolves in Washington.
How big do they get?
Oregon. You have wolves in California.
We have them out here?
Oh,
You got them out here?
So your guys' wolves that are here in California, not here, but the wolves in California that pop up, those all came from the reintroductions in the Frank Church wilderness area in Idaho.
Oh.
So the northern Great Lakes never lost them. A lot of the Rockies, a lot of the southern Rockies lost them, and they did reintroductions in the late 90s into Yellowstone and Frank Church. And those wolves have really spread out. And what's funny is, had they not done that, we wouldn't be quite where we're at right now, but they would have come down through Canada anyways. Like they would have come in regardless. It wouldn't have happened as rapidly.
Right.
It's funny because like in Colorado, they just voted in. They just passed a referendum, which basically mandates a voter referendum, which basically mandates Colorado's state fish and game agency to explore and implement a reintroduction of wolves. It literally, while that referendum was going through the ballot proposal process,
A new family showed up?
yeah, wolves came out of Wyoming and showed up anyway, which I thought would have neutered the whole initiative.
Yeah.
But the initiative still passed.
oh,
So
wow.
even though they had wolves naturally come in, they still are pushing to do this to accelerate it.
They
with
wreak
the-
hage on farmers, right? It's what you got to get your
Yeah,
dogs.
they pull these together, these programs. Like when you buy a license in Montana, you can hunting license in Montana, you're always prompted to make a donation to mitigation. So if a livestock producer loses livestock to wolves, they can apply for and receive compensation. And it's a very flawed system from a producer's standpoint because the producer needs to prove that's what happened. But if you turn 300 cows out on summer range and 280 come back, like you're not going to prove what the hell happened to them. So people are always quick to point out like, oh yeah, but they could apply for compensation. It's like they can, but it's, you got to prove it.
Yeah.
And it's not always able to prove it. So it causes a lot of tension with agricultural producers. And when wolves first get brought into an area, especially when they do these reintroductions where just boom, you see dramatic declines
Yeah.
in big
elk
game.
and deer.
I mean,
Oh, I bet.
like they're
you know,
killers.
Yeah.
They kill and don't eat them sometimes, right?
Yeah, they will. They kill a lot of
Poachers.
shit, and what happens is the wolves are able to come in and exploit a resource that has no awareness of wolves.
Yeah, they have no idea.
So like
Never
he's
seen
like,
them.
what the hell's that thing? And then
Next thing, it's too late.
and so you'll see herds. You'll see herds of 9,000 elk be reduced to 2,000 elk.
What?
You see herds of 20,000 elk be reduced to 9,000 elk.
Are you serious?
Oh
That
yeah,
much?
it's
What are
hard.
they killing 5 a day or something crazy?
Yeah, well, 7 pounds of meat a day.
That's why they're getting so big.
Well, yeah. So like you figure like a wolf's gonna eat 7 pounds of meat a day.
Damn. How many are there? How many wolves? It's usually a family, right? In a pack.
Yeah. So you'll have in some of these areas. So they make these things called distinct population segments around the country, and a DPS is a distinct population segment would generally need to be in the hundreds to be viable, to be really viable.
Oh,
Be
so you
like
got
hundreds of wolves. Yeah.
Taking out just herds.
Like low hundreds, but you could get in places. I don't know. Minnesota's at thousands right now, and it's very hard. It's like one of the most vexing wildlife management issues in the country is how do we deal that and it's a sociology question more than anything else. A management sociology is how do you simultaneously have wolves but have healthy hunting, right? Like, and have stable big game populations. And oftentimes, if you argue on behalf of, if you're like me and you argue on behalf of a fairly nuanced perspective, which is that I'm not anti-predator. I like to see all native wildlife on the ground. I'd like to see them managed, and I don't think it's bad to argue on behalf of big game resources for human exploitation. But some people be like, well, they just want deer, you know, those hunters, they just want deer so they can kill them. And you'd be like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want.
That's like a thing.
I want that
That's a
meat.
thing.
Oh,
there's like a long tradition of hunting deer and elk for food. And so I'm not going to be bashful about me saying that that's a thing that we're interested in is ensuring that we have healthy populations of deer, elk, moose, because we like to hunt them, at the same time having viable populations of wolves. Like
We don't have an endangered problem in any of our animals, do we?
well,
boy.
they've been
Hold on.
wolf, they've been the reason they create this is a great question. With we talk about wolves and grizzlies. When they created the Endangered Species Act and they listed wolves and grizzlies in the lower 48. So Alaska has, you know, wolves and grizzlies occupy like 99% of historic range in Alaska. It's just not an issue. When they gave wolves and grizzlies ESA, Endangered Species Act protection in the lower 48, they did it in a blanket way, where they came in and said, basically, the lower 48,
Can't hunt them.
wolves and grizzlies are ESA protected. But it wasn't nuanced enough. And a way to think about it like this. Elk have only been recovered. Like elk only occupy, I think, 20 some percent of their historic range. Meaning elk were in Michigan, Wisconsin, all of Appalachia, out to the East Coast. Like all of the Midwest was elk country. Elk were everywhere. We've only recovered elk, I don't know what it is, 17% of the range, some shit like that. We recovered elk on 1/5 of the range. But we hunt elk all over the damn place. In the West, you hunt elk in Kentucky, you can draw elk tags in Michigan, you can draw elk tags in Pennsylvania, you can buy elk tags over the counter in a gas station in Idaho, Montana, elsewhere, right? So we're hunting elk, but we haven't recovered elk. We've only recovered them on a small portion of the range. When they came in with grizzly bears and wolves, they took this whole lower 48 and it said endangered. Meaning, but we're never going to recover grizzlies in Golden Gate Park, which is native grizzly habitat.
Too dangerous?
Well, yeah. Way too, like, they don't want them. They're not going to want them.
Yeah, too many
The
people.
people that live in Golden Gate Park don't want you to dump grizzlies in Golden Gate Park. So if you can't recover them everywhere, what do? Well, you got to go and look, like, where could they actually be?
Right.
Where do we have a chance
Where
of them
people don't
actually
live.
being, and then manage those places?
Yeah.
So we're never going to recover grizzly bears across their historic range, because you had grizzly bears in western Kansas
Damn.
to the California coast, and you had grizzly bears from the Sierra Madre in Mexico to the Arctic Ocean. Like, we're never going to recover them all the way. So what they've done is they've created these, there's
Pockets?
6 areas. Yeah, there's 6 areas that are viable for grizzlies. I don't know how many areas are viable for wolves. And so the move now is to take the isolated pocket, not isolated, take the areas and say they're recovered there, but not there. Meaning they're recovered in the Northern Rockies, but that doesn't mean that they're recovered in California. So remove protections where they're recovered and don't remove protections where they're not covered. And that approach, when the animal rights groups want to litigate these issues, they attack that approach. Meaning they're saying, how could you say they're recovered here when they're not recovered everywhere? And I'd be like, well, here's how I can say that. We do it with bighorn sheep. We've done it with elk.
Yep.
We've done it with myriad other animals. It's like, there's a lot of work to be done, but that doesn't mean the work's not taken care of
In these areas.
in the Northern Rockies. Like, wolves are delisted in the Northern Rockies. They have to delist grizzlies in the Northern Rockies, or else you're a hypocrite. You know, if you push for grizzly listing in the first place and you are pro Endangered Species Act, you look like a fool
When are you going to go
to
hunting?
not delist in the Northern Rockies.
When are you going hunting?
When he invites me.
There you go.
You want to go?
I'm down. I've never been.
We're gonna go.
But I'd go with the great
Man-eater.
we know, yeah.
Wow.
Call it man-eater.
Yeah, I stalk and I rub myself down in moss and urine. So
I've never been, but I feel like I'd slow you down. I don't talk
You're
a lot.
gonna you'd carry all the stuff.
Yeah, I'll carry the stuff.
You're the pack.
No,
mule.
I'm curious. You would have zero problem.
No,
I need food,
You'd
though,
be
yeah.
no problem.
You'd be like physically?
No, I'd be fine.
Oh yeah, you'd have zero
You
problem.
can carry everything.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Big
You ever
boy.
jog and stuff?
Oh yeah, I run all the time.
He's season shape.
Dude, you'd smoke me up a hill.
yeah, he's a monster.
I don't know if I'd smoke you, but I'd definitely.
No, you're pretty good.
I don't think so. But
I have one
would go.
physical talent, and it's like walking, not running.
Yeah.
You can just walk.
Just
around.
like I do really well at the 1 foot in front of the other
Yeah,
shit.
just marching.
Yeah, he'll just
That's my
climb the whole
physical
way.
talent.
We're like, fuck.
I'd be down though. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who could kick my ass, fighting, running.
Yeah.
But I can just walk.
Outwalk.
Yeah,
walk
he'll
better
beat
than-
anybody in a race as long as you don't run.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minute they run, I'm like,
Good trait for you.
Slow
Though. You
down.
want to be
He will
running
crush
hiking.
you in walking up hills.
just
Where
normal
there's no
speed
trail.
walking
Yeah,
is
that's your thing.
is my is that's
especially
my
walking
physical
through
skill.
briars and trees.
Where would be before we end it? Where would be a good place to start if I've never been? Like I grew up like camping stuff in in Rocky Mountain stuff like that. Like where's a good place?
What would be a thing that would be fun to go do?
Yeah, where I'm not miserable.
I mean, there's just so many things. And
But I like to suffer a little bit too. I don't want a cakewalk. I
Like
don't
you want- oh, you-
I don't want
you
like
don't
Bear
want a
Grylls where
cakewalk.
we're like filming. They're like, all right, let's get out of here. And helicopter takes us to Four Seasons. I don't want that.
No, I'm with
I
you.
do.
We would go on like maybe like a overnight little backpack hunt overnight.
Couple
We could
nights.
even go hunt birds, grouse.
Nah, no.
I don't want to hunt bear.
You want to hunt something big?
Yeah.
Now, you want a rifle. You want to be.
I want it to scare me a little bit. If it's a bear, I'm like, whatever.
Now, elk would be great so we can get some meat.
There, go mule deer hunting.
You just include yourself into this, man.
I did. Yeah, I want some mule.
He's got all that urine and all
Yeah.
that. He's gonna wipe himself down.
I'll
in-
wipe myself down. Wear a loincloth
And
and
the-
a bandana. I look
and the
great.
#1 landowner in Jordan.
Yeah, when
Oh,
you're in
Prince.
Jordan.
Oh
New
no, that would
Zealand.
be the prince, and the other one is New Zealand. Is a friend of mine. Yes, of course. So we'll go and hunt red stag in New Zealand.
Well, Stephen, we appreciate you coming on. We know you got a busy
goats.
day, my man.
Hey, thanks for having
We've
me
wanted you
on,
on
man.
for a
Even
while.
Rinella.
Yep. Appreciate you, brother.
Great to see you.
Look
Steven,
how clean cut he looks
Greensboro,
in that
North
picture.
Carolina. If you ever want to come there, I'm doing stand up there October 6th and 7th. Everybody.
We're in Vegas this week, Skankfest.
Skankfest.
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, and Comedy Zone October 6th and 7th. Comedy Zone at the Greensboro, North Carolina. I've never been there. Have you been there?
Can I plug?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, please.
We have a live. I'm doing a live tour, which we do periodically this December.
Ooh, what do you mean? What are you doing live?
We do
tour?
theater shows.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like a podcast where you talk.
Yeah, kind of like, but it's not recorded. But it's like the same kind of has the same vibe as my podcast. But we do live theater
Q&A.
shows.
You got
I'm
a
sure
big
a lot of people
phone.
ask you questions or no?
Yeah, a little bit in the first part we do. Then there's like a trivia component. We just cover kind of like news and funny shit. And
That's great.
Yeah, we've done them. We did a lot before the pandemic, but haven't done them since the pandemic.
good.
Yeah, we
Dope.
quit. We had a whole shitload of shows, and then we canceled them because
Great.
you guys lived that whole deal. So we're just a little slower to get back to.
I'm in Iowa in October, but outside that, it's Skankfest. Stephen, we appreciate it, man.
Thanks a lot.
You're the best,
Steve
brother.
Rinella,
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen. That was awesome.